Best record in the league. It's the Lakers and the Jazz. They set a record, did the Jazz, with 28 three-pointers in their win against the Hornets on Monday. The three-point shot has changed the game, but this year more than ever, it's such a focus. Mike Conley hits a three. Bojan Bogdanovic hits a three. Joe Ingles, I'm quite confident. Jazz 6 of 12 from downtown in the first quarter. Jazz continue to stay warm behind the arc. Royce O'Neal, Splappa, Jazz lead by 7. Conley, who had a game-high 14 in the first half with another 3 as the lead begins to grow. LeBron cutting down the lane. Big finish. Another look at this one. Even Rudy Gobert knew better than to jump there. Jordan Clarkson's star turn continues to add game after game. Jazz jump out to a 16-point lead. Donovan Mitchell, first points of the game. Jazz had 14 threes in the first half, tied for the most in a half in franchise history. Again, 28 in their last game. Jazz rolling. LeBron's pass picked off. Up top, Mitchell, Gobert, alley-oop, another look. Defense turns to offense, and this time LeBron knows not to get caught in no man's land. Spider, look out. Oh, my. Donovan Mitchell. He's the perfect height with the perfect bounce for it to do that thing where it looks like you're kind of, there's no gravity. And then he can do that. Mitchell and the Jazz rolling. And Mitchell was asked afterwards, you surprised about how well y'all are playing?
Hey, LeBron. Frank was talking about the continuity of Utah and benefiting them, and I just wondered if you've seen them evolve on offense to the point where they're taking, I think, 7 more threes this year from last year, and if, you know, with the same roster and all that, how does that impact the way that you guys need to defend them?
I think, yeah, they come back with the same roster, but I think what I noticed more than anything is those guys they're fully healthy. I think Mike Conley is back to himself, fully healthy, moving. You can see the way he's moving out there on the floor, and it's trickled down to everybody else. So they're playing some really good ball. It's a really good team.
Yeah, Markieff was just talking about the kind of managing through mental fatigue and how that's been something that's important. This team needs to go through some struggles. Last year's team had the 4-game losing streak in December and then bounced back. You've talked about this extensively this year, but how do you lead through that way with teammates that are trying to find themselves and trying to do a little bit more with AD out? Yeah,
it's challenging for all of us, especially for some of our young guys and some of our guys that haven't been in this position before where they need to do a little bit more than what they're asked in a normal situation. Everyone's just speaking about AD, and obviously that's a big hit. But we also haven't had Dennis along this stretch for a few games too. He's a big piece of our puzzle as well. So, and everyone has been put in positions that they wouldn't be put in under the normal circumstances. But it's always about staying confident, continuing to give my teammates the courage and the confidence out there on the floor, and to make plays. And it's a tough stretch for us, but if this won't define who we will be for the rest of the season and for the long haul, that's for sure.
Okay, Calvin, please.
Hey, LeBron. And obviously, the most pressing thing is not having your 2 best players. But Markieff was saying that, early on in the season, you guys were winning on talent a lot. Do you think that sort of the gap that you guys have and you're at full strength maybe is contributing a little bit to some of the struggles you're having now as a team mentally when you're trying to carry on without those guys?
Well, obviously we all got to do a better job of, in our own individual self, and that will carry on to the team, and and pick up in AD's and Dennis' absence. We just hit a rough patch, and it happens throughout the course of a season. You don't want it to happen, but when it does, I think it defines character. It challenges you, and you just get ready for the bounce back. So you learn from tonight, learn from the previous games, and then get ready for the next one.
Okay, Dave McMenamin.
Hey, LeBron, you mentioned the term or the phrase being comfortable, being uncomfortable in the past. Is that type of time that you go through, does it allow you to learn teammates better or see a different side of them? Especially you basically have 4 new guys on this team, 5 new guys in the rotation, and can that help down the line?
No, absolutely. Always the best teacher in life is experience, and and for us to be going through this right now, I think it's going to benefit our team tremendously.
Okay, Deb, please.
LeBron, as a group, really since February, the team has not shot the ball well. How demoralizing is that, or have you sensed that that's like an on-court demoralizer, these games where you guys are 20%, 24%, stuff like that, and what's it going to take to shake out?
Yeah, obviously, we know we have to make shots from the perimeter. It is that simple, and we know that, and but we can't put more added pressure on ourselves. Like me personally, I know I haven't shot the ball, as I did as the first 20 games of the season, but I haven't put more added pressure on myself because I know I put the work in. So, I hope my teammates do the same. Don't put too much added pressure on them, on themselves. When you put the work in, I think you live with the results. But we have to make some some shots from the exterior. We're really good in the paint. We do a good job with that, but we're not making threes. We're not getting to the free throw line, and it's been very difficult on our team, to score.
Okay, well, just one last question, Sarah.
Hey, LeBron, you mentioned that, experience is the best teacher. How much of this is just trying to repeat in the NBA? And is there anything you can take from those previous experiences to try to do that?
No, I think every experience is its own challenge. I mean, you can always, you can grab certain things from certain moments and things that, to that nature, things that you've had in your career and, different obstacles that you have. But, every year is its own challenge. And, there will be crowned a champion this year, and who we want to be a part of that. We hope that we're crowned the champion, but we like to put in the work. And I'm always about the process and the good and the bad, the ugly, and everything that comes with it. So you can gain some experience from the previous year, but this year is its own challenge, and we take a full strength and then try to get healthy and get ready to play the game of basketball how we've grown accustomed to.
The answer is Joel Embiid. He's at this moment the best player in the league this season. That's why he's the front runner for MVP. Never mind the fact that he's averaging 30 and 11 with a block and a half and almost a steal and a half a game. That he's shooting 40% from 3 and taking a bunch of them. That he's shooting 85 from the line. All the numbers are there on offense, which is why he's leading the league in PER, why he's been the best offensive player in basketball this year. I think arguably he's also been the best defensive player in basketball this year. There's no answer for Joel Embiid. There's no answer for him anymore. If he's hitting outside shots and he's posting up, and what can you possibly do? And he's really more of a true big man than anyone. Joel Embiid's the kind of big man whose game translates to any era, obviously including this one. Here's a shock for you, okay? Stephen A., listen to this. Do you know in history who's averaged the most points in history per 36 minutes for their career? Because Michael Jordan, of all retired players, is number 1. Kobe Bryant's on the list, so is AD. Kevin Durant's high on the list. James Harden, all the guys you'd expect. But Jordan, of course, as you expect, number 1. Points per 36 minutes for his career. When Joel Embiid dropped 50 the other day, guess who was number 1 all-time career health? Points per 36 minutes. Joel Embiid. Just as a scorer, Stephen A. The dude is insane, and you know what? He's in shape this year. He's in shape. He's running the floor. He's defending, probably, I think, the best defender in the game. That's why he's the MVP right now. And right now, the best big man in basketball.
He is the best big man in basketball right now. He is the front runner for league MVP honors right now. No argument there because Kevin Durant's been out. And obviously, he was my choice up until then. But I will tell you this. You know where I'm going, resume. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to pick him over Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis just was fresh off of finals, averaging 27 and 9. In the postseason, throughout his career, he's averaged 29 and 11. Okay, this brother, I mean, this year right now, he's just shooting up like 29% from three-point range, so he was struggling. You know, you got a championship. Joel Embiid got swept in the first round of the playoffs. Anthony Davis stayed in that bubble for those 96 days and ultimately captured the championship, and then about 2 months later, had to come back and play. So we'll see as the season progressed, if he had stayed healthy, what would have happened. But in terms of their resume and Anthony Davis's versatility, it's not that Joel Embiid can't hit perimeter shots, because we know that he can. But I'm looking at Anthony Davis a little bit better. I think he's more active as a defender on the perimeter than even Joel Embiid is. And I know what he can do defensively in terms of blocking shots and rebounds. He can do just what Joel Embiid can do. So for me personally, for my money, I would look at Anthony Davis and I would say that I would prefer him. Not right now. I understand that Joel Embiid right now looks like the best big man in basketball because he's the front runner for league MVP. He's been absolutely sensational this year, and he deserves all the credit in the world. No question about that. But if I had to pick between him and Anthony Davis, and both of them were at 100%, I would go with Anthony Davis.
Listen, I can't argue the resume point. Can't do it because Embiid came out with injury concerns and they were well-founded.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the 5 years he's played.
But I'm saying part of the question with Embiid, it's chicken or egg. Like, has he not been in shape, and that's one of the reasons for injury problems, like his back, forget about the leg? Or is it that because he is a giant and his body's more prone to that, that leads to a situation where he's not in as good a shape? I can't compare his career resume to AD. AD's been better over his career. But I can say that right now, Embiid is in shape. He's in the best shape I've seen him. And this is the fulfillment of the potential when he was originally drafted. Like, oh, my God. Stephen A., he's the only – if he can play like this, if he can sustain this, think of the perfect center. Has it really existed? I'm talking about a guy who could do everything. Not a slim power forward / center dude, but a guy who can bang down low, who's over 7 feet, who's big and strong, who's got, by the way, who's a willing passer, who's unstoppable scoring inside and out, and who can really defend in the modern NBA. Embiid's the only one. He's the only one who checks every single box. Think of all the centers who've ever played who's checked every single box like this version of Embiid.
Yeah, give me a chance to respond. The point is that I think as a big man, there's no question about it. A big man, but when you look at today's game, unfortunately, they're all labeled big men. And so when you're talking about Joel Embiid, you're talking about that quintessential prototypical big boy. Back to the basket, put your backside on somebody, post them, take it to the hole, and finish the job. Yeah, that's Joel Embiid. But unfortunately, over the last several years, we've looked at the big man, and the big man position has evolved to a point now you could be like that slim, lanky, power forward that just happens to be playing the 5 and what have you. I'm looking at it from that perspective, and I'm saying the versatility of Anthony Davis out on the perimeter and what he's capable of doing in the interior and outside on the perimeter on both the offense and defensive side of the ball. I think I would give him the edge. But when you talk about that prototypical big man, back to the basket, drop step, be a man amongst boys, you're the big boy and you play that way, like Shaq loves to say. Joel Embiid clearly is that guy.